This is the UTV 44 Game of the Week Preview Show, brought to you by Metro PCS.
Another year of high school football here on UTV 44. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan. So the kids that we'll be talking about tonight that are seniors were in kindergarten when we started here on UTV 44, right? 12
Wow.
on UTV 44?
Yeah, and overall, we're talking about the seniors were just being born. We were
2000 we started this, you and I.
Yeah. So we've got a long history
We
doing this.
so much just as we did in 2000. We look almost, if we pulled up pictures from 2000, you and I, not much has changed.
It's all the same. I can tell you this, it has been that many years of a pleasure doing these games. Getting a chance to sit down with coaches, meet players before the game, and kind of, inside maybe pull for a kid a little bit because you know his story, you know how hard he's working, or maybe you know some of his hardships. But we've had a chance to have the inside track and behind the curtain of high school football for a long time.
I think the one thing we always, if we look back at all these great games and all the great memories we've had, crazy finishes all throughout, still you and I always say maybe our favorite part every week is that little 15 or 20 minutes on the field before kickoff that we're out there talking to both coaches, and it's maybe 15 minutes total. And it's one of my favorite parts of the night every week.
It's really great, and I wish that. And you'll see so many fans kind of glancing down and saying, "Well, there's the TV guys. What are they up to?" And we're just kind of breathing in the oxygen. You know, we get a little information, yeah, but we also get a chance to really feel the intensity. And because usually we're at the game of the week, and it is, in fact, that big a game, right?
Oh, and I think, and Lev Howley, the coach of the Blount Leopards, will talk about this more as he joins us, but he's already talked about it this week. So the game, Blount and Vigor, the game we're doing this week, the Battle of Pritchard, we've done it many, many times over the years. This one will be at Blount on tonight as we get ready for the game. People will get there early. They'll be there mid-morning. They'll be tailgating at noon. But he talked about his players and how special it is to just be in an atmosphere where you've got 10 or 15,000 people. He said, how many high school kids ever get a chance to play in front of that many people? And it's kind of the same thing you were just talking about. Be out there before the game, soak it in a little bit before the game gets going, and just enjoy the moment.
And, when you're talking about the Battle of Pritchard, those kids are not just looking up at fans. They're looking up at faces they know, and faces who've watched them play since they were knee-high. And so Pritchard, Alabama is a place where football is taken very seriously and enjoyed at a very high level. But these kids have been coached. They've been scouted. They have had people back them in every imaginable way, trying to get them to this point. For some of them, this will be the biggest game they ever play. For some of them, they will move on and have a chance to play in college. But even talk to some of these players who do go to college, and they'll still say, the biggest game I ever played in was Blount against Vigor.
I mean, I think I can just imagine there were some churches in Pritchard this weekend that, like families who always sit together on the same, like different side. Like maybe it was right down the middle. Some with purple on, some with green on as they get ready for this week. And it really is such an exciting atmosphere. And, this opening week, I mean, there's, I think, 3 really huge games you look at. You've got Murphy Baker, which is probably the only region game that's taking place in the state this week because of a quirk in the schedule and Saraland changing their schedule around. And then, of course, you've got Spanish Ford and McGill going up against one another, 2 huge powerhouses in 7A and 6A. So we had choices to make for the first game. But, I think if you look on a statewide level, this will be the biggest crowd of any game on a Friday night throughout the state to open up the season. And, we're so excited to be there.
A knowledgeable crowd, a very passionate crowd, and kids who are going to give everything they've got for those 4 quarters for about 1.5 million reasons. We can't even get through all those. So buckle up and get ready to enjoy a really great high school rivalry and a game tonight. All
right, we can't wait. It's the Battle of Pritchard, Blount and Vigor. Stick around. We'll come back here. We're at Metro PCS West Mobile location. We'll talk more about tonight's matchup as we get ready to open things up here on UTV 44 for another great season of high school football. High school football season opening up tonight here on UTV 44, Battle of Pritchard. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vigor traveling to Blount for the matchup tonight. And by the time you're watching this, if you haven't left for the state, it's too late. Like, this is, so it's about 6:40 right now. Yeah, it's too late. You're not going to get there in time to get a parking spot. to get any of the tailgate food. It's
I got
all-
news for you. 440 may have been pushing it.
I totally agree. Derek Scott, head coach of the Vigor Wolves. Eric Phelps, Jr., DB for the Wolves. Have been calling this young man's name on TV for a couple.
All he does is make plays.
couple of years now. So, all right. So, coach, as we get ready to open the season, I think the one thing everybody's talking about the Vigor Wolves, your defense. Like people are saying, maybe not just the best defense in your classification, maybe one of the best in the state. You do return some real great players on that side of the football this year.
We do, and for the most part, we return. I think on that guy, I think we got 7 coming back, 6 coming back on defense, and most of them are juniors. So we got a chance to be pretty good. We feel like that's going to be a strength for our team.
And I think you saw that last year with your team. Started out 0-2, ran off 7 in a row, and playing young kids, getting better and better because we were just talking before we came on air here, and I mean, your team from where you were in week 1 last year until the playoffs, vastly different football team.
Totally. And we saw it happening. We saw that metamorphosis kind of happening in practice. Every week they started to get a little more confidence, a little more understanding of what we were trying to do defensively and what our game plan and our style is. And so that defense started to take on a life of its own, and really like guys like Eric Phelps Jr. right here, and Earl Scott, and a couple more guys on that defense as well played last year. But it really had a lot to do with those seniors from last year. Charles Crawford and Julius.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys really helped to put their mark on our defense and really kind of inject something into it. And we're just trying to build on it.
And isn't that what seniors are supposed to do? Leave it better than they had it.
Yeah.
So now it's up to the next wave of kids to do it, right?
Absolutely. We speak about this all the time, about teaching the young guys as well as developing that tradition to where you leave Vigor better than you found it.
You even allowed me in on a big defensive meeting in the meeting room.
Sure did.
Didn't understand anything. What I did understand was that the kids took it very seriously, and they were trying to get better. It was later in the season. I guess it was before the Jackson game. And what was so impressive about that game, you play a Jackson team, I believe you're holding a 14. Am I right about that?
Yeah, 14.
The next week, they hang 40-something or 50-something up on Davidson.
7A Davidson.
Yeah. And that's when we could really see your team was playing like a team. Tell us about Eric Phelps.
Well, Eric kind of makes everything go for us defensively. He's an energy guy. He's a guy that does things the right way for us. He plays with a motive, and that's what we're trying to instill in all our guys. We do a lot of pursuit and as well as tackling on a daily basis on the defensive side. And Eric finally understands what that means. So he learns how to play fast, and that's all we really preach. We try to keep it simple and just play fast.
All right, playing fast, like that's not going to be an option. Like that's the only option for the game against the Blount Leopards, right? I mean, this is going to be just fast on both sides of the ball and physical on both sides of the ball, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we're gonna come out. Our defense, we teach them like we pursue to the ball. If the man think the man ain't down, like everybody get to the ball. Don't think he's tackled. Like everybody to the ball, and we gotta be like that every play, like throughout the whole game.
You will witness, as you watch this game tonight, amazing effort on both sides. Like Eric said, don't assume that guy's down.
No.
And that could cause a little trouble with the referees with a hit where a guy is down. But the fact is, you know so many of the players over there, would be my guess, Eric, that you played with them. Yeah.
It's like this tall, right?
Talk about what the game means to you because of that.
It means a lot because, you know, playing with the guys when you was on the same team with them, building that character and that relationship with them, now you fit to play against them. And now, like, we was friends there, but this night only, we enemy. Like, and we finna go at it.
Hey, of course, like, you know, when you have a game like this, you know, this game used to be in week 10, now it's in week 1.
Right.
Obviously, kids are always ready to play week 1. You're ready. You're tired of hitting each other. You're really ready to go. But boy, you know the emotion's going to be there.
Right.
Do you almost have to rein it in a little bit from an energy standpoint because they're going to be so amped up for this game?
Totally. And it's not really reining in. It's more of guiding the focus. You know, point them in the right direction and focus on the things that help you win football games, especially this early. They're amped up to play. You know, we win if we play week 3, week 1, week 5, week 8 against Blount. These guys are going to be ready to play. But what I'm more concerned, I'm sure Coach Holly is more concerned about is being executed in week 1. And you know, you're not your best self in week 1, and everybody's aware of that. But we got to be out. We have to put a great product out there the first week, so that's what we're trying to do.
Is there a little so if you have some young men who are out there on a Friday night, maybe their first time under the lights, and you're going to be a little bright-eyed just because it's the first time. But this game, like, it takes like one series, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is real. Because this might be the most physical game you play in all year long.
Totally. I don't think, the Blount Leopards and what they do up there is tremendous. And those guys are athletic and fast, and they're aggressive as well. So they're going to fly around and hit you, and we're going to hope we're going to match their intensity and fly around and hit them as well. But this is definitely going to be one of the most physical football games you'll probably see in this area.
And we just get to enjoy it from the press box, watch the intensity, look at each other every now and then like, whoa. So we wish everybody well, and we hope you guys come out of it certainly healthy.
Oh, we're excited. I mean, we're excited. It's the game of the weekend. Like, we really believe that. That's why we're doing it. We're so excited. We can't wait. Be safe out there. Coach, we'll see you in the last segment as well. When we come back, we'll hear the Blount Leopard side of the tales. We get ready for the Battle of Pritchard here tonight on UTV 44. We are here at Metro PCS. We're at the West Mobile store. I want to remind you we're at 7335 Airport Boulevard. The Vigor store is over there on St. Stephen's Road at 3305. And the Blount Leopard store, they've got two of them. One on St. Stephen's Road and also one in Saraland as well. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, as we get ready to kick off another great season of high school football here on UTV 44. Coach Lev Howley, head coach of the Blount Leopards, and Collins Woods, wide receiver for the Blount Leopards, who has been on with us many times as we've been doing this. Just a very talented young man. We'll talk about it not just on the field, but in the classroom as well. So, Coach, third year here. We've loved getting to know you. We love what's going on out at Blount, and I know this way to start the season against Vigor. I mean, it's got everything you love about a high school football game, doesn't it?
It's very exciting. I think it's one of those deals it goes into what we're preaching every day about the cultural side. Blount is a place that has rich tradition. Blount is a place that, fans love it. Administration love it. Mr. Woods and his staff does a great job as far as supporting it. And the biggest part about it is the kids. The kids that come in every day, they work their tails off. Pretty much does everything that we ask. And people just don't understand the situation, the things that we go through. So to live that culture, that brick by brick culture that we're preaching every day, the buy-in, is do what you love and then love what you do. So couldn't be more pleased with them.
I love you. I heard you talking earlier this week, and you were talking about just the experience it's going to be tonight. 10,000, 15,000 people there, and kind of telling your kids, like, man, embrace the moment. I mean, this is going to be, not just here, but if you look across the country, we get a little spoiled by football here in Mobile and Baldwin counties. But, if you look across the country, how many kids get an opportunity to be in a game of this magnitude? It's not many, is it?
It's not many, but I think the Blount and Vigor rivalry is just, it's big, and I think it's a great way to open up the season. It kind of tells your off-season program. It tells, the things that you're doing right, and I think we'll be exposed a lot, on different things. Coach Scott and those guys do a great job of putting their kids in position, and I think this is probably one of the best defenses that we'll see the entire year. So I think if we can have some success against this defense, I feel that we'll have a chance to do something special. But that rivalry is like none other. You're talking about kids sitting in the same church, going to the same school and playing in the same parks, and just for this one night, I think Pritchard's gonna come together. And the thing about it, it's gonna be a winner on the scoreboard, it's gonna be a loser, but I think in the end, I think everybody's gonna win. But I think it's a special deal, and I think the kids are special.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, and before we get to Collins, which we want to get to real quick, a question for you about this intensity. We almost got to it when we were talking to Derek, but how do you execute? How do you not jump offside? How do you not let emotion get the best of you where you just shoot yourself in the foot so much you look up and you turn the game over?
Well, I think of course we talk about it, day in, day out, and I just feel like if both teams, those first 6 minutes, man, we talked about it since camp, the first 6 minutes. Last year it was sloppy from the start. Once teams got settled down, it was a great football game. So what we're preaching every day is, come in with that mindset of, hey, don't worry about Vigor, worry about Blount, because Vigor's gonna be Vigor. Blunt's going to be Blunt, and I think the chess match is going to start from the time we kick it off. Because I know what those guys do over there. Those guys, I know the excitement they're going to bring. I know the intensity they're going to coach with because, hey, I coach with them. So, I'm excited, and I tell everybody I learned a bunch of ball from Coach Scott.
The cupboard's not bare on the offensive side over at Blount, though. I mean, would you agree, Coach Scott? It's like the cupboard on the offense still a couple of 1,000-yard receivers back. Of course, Kadarius Toney is no longer here, but Collins Wood. I mean, a special football player, but as we've got to know, a very special young man right over here.
Well, I think anytime you can go in and you pull the paperwork out and a recruiter come in and he sees a 4.3 GPA with a 26 ACT and. Right now, it's going to be salutatory in this class. I think it's pretty hard, not to take notice. But then when you look at him, he's 6'3", 191 pounds. I mean, hey, what more can you ask for?
What's not to love?
What's not to love? But he's a great kid. He does right well. He's a competitor, and I'll be honest, I'm excited to see him and 31 go at it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Air Phelps. I think he's one of the best DBs in the area. So it'll be exciting to see those two.
Let's go.
You ready?
Everybody's selling your case. It's time for you to sell yours. What are you looking for tonight? What's this game mean to you now as a senior?
I'm looking forward to everything about it. It means everything. You play every game like it's your last, so that's just what I'm going to do. When
you look at what your future might be, what are the options and what are you weighing life after Blount?
Be on somebody's campus playing.
I would think so.
Yeah, you have a lot of. There will be no shortage of suitors to be there. But just so you've always talked about play your life. You never know, play like your last game. But like, this is the last time that Blount and Vigor will play. The last time you'll get to do it. I mean, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I gotta go hard. Well, we have to go hard. We ready.
I think they are.
Yeah.
It's going to be. We can't wait. When you see the atmosphere out there, it's going to be so exciting. We're excited to be there. Coach, stick around. We got the last segment coming up. I know you've been all summer thinking, I can't wait till that last segment on the TV pregame show. Said no coach ever that works with us here. Come back. We'll wrap things up and get you ready for a kickoff tonight. Blount and Vigor right here on UTV 44 to start the 2017 high school football season. We are at Metro PCS out here on Airport Boulevard. We'll be at a Metro PCS for our pregame show all season long here. Jim Cox and Dan Brennan as we get ready to kick off another great year of high school football. And tonight it is Vigor and Blount, the Battle of Pritchard. And like I said, we've done this game before. It's always so intense. The atmosphere, I mean, it really sets the tone for the season. And it's like you were saying, it's kind of a treat. I mean, it's not kind of, it really is a treat for us just to be able to kind of be a fly on the wall for this football game.
A few years ago, we were stationed on top of the press box, and we were talking about how am I get to my car after the game because it was so crowded, and there was a big play, and I almost got to my car that play because I almost tumbled off. I mean, that place was absolutely rocking, and this is what you get. You get such intensity, fans and players that know each other, and it doesn't get much better.
We are so excited to start the season. Okay, so for however long we've been doing this, we do this little silly, stupid questions at the end of the pregame show. Well, I mean, I have officially run out of stupid questions to ask.
You had some already this show.
But some people would have said we ran out like 4 years ago.
True.
So we're changing it up this year, and I haven't told anybody else. So we're gonna do it. It's very simple. So I'm gonna start with my partner Dan Brennan, and so I'm gonna ask him a question or a topic, and he's either Bren in or he's Brent out.
Okay.
And then the coach will be in or out on the same thing. So we'll start with you. So
I try not to get very political on the air, by the way.
Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather Jr. 50 million people are saying gonna watch this. You gonna be one of them? Brent in?
Brent out.
Brent out. You gonna watch the match?
No, it's my birthday.
He's out. He's out.
I mean,
You ain't gonna watch it. I used to love boxing. I'm just not sure I want to see this. All right. Earlier this week, we had the solar eclipse.
I was a dedicated non-eclipser.
Yeah, Brent out.
I was out.
You're out.
Yeah.
I was out. We was in 5th block. We was practicing.
Out. I'm at my home office, grinding away at my desk. It's 1:39. I'm like, I'm hungry, so I walk out to to the kitchen, and I'm like, is it gonna rain? I open the back door, like the president, stare up at the thing, and I'm like, God! And I'm like, oh, it's the eclipse. I didn't even know. Coach Fred Riley has recently taken to Twitter. Twitter, in or out?
Trying.
Trying.
Yeah.
Out.
You're in.
Oh, very much out.
No, he used to be in. You'll retweet once. He's got somebody on the staff doing the. No, Saturday mornings. You can get on Twitter on Saturday mornings. I retweet you sometimes.
No.
I'm on Twitter.
I'm out.
All right. Brent in, Brent out. Facebook Live.
I'm in because but I'm dragged in.
Right.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Really, that yeah?
Well, I'm in the media.
Okay.
And so I'm kind of dragged in, like, did you do a Facebook Live today? Oh, yeah, okay.
Facebook Live.
Never.
Don't even have a Facebook.
It has its place. Tara, it has its place, right? It has its place. All right. So.
No.
The world should only revolve around Apple products and Apple technology, so we don't have to wait for stupid Windows updates. Apple only, in or out?
I'd have to say I'm out.
In.
Yeah.
Out.
Oh. Yeah.
Come on.
I
Apple,
think
it's the only way to go.
I understand.
Well, once you make the change, it's the only way to go, and it's why I had to get a new printer today. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yes.
In.
Out.
Out.
Yeah, out. Like I just hadn't.
Everybody else
But when
likes
you're
it.
in, you're in.
Yeah.
Like right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught up in a month.
All right. Hard Knocks.
Bren in.
Yeah.
In.
Yeah, we all agree on that. That's the best show on TV. If you win Powerball, now I'll trust you'll be here tonight, but if you win Powerball, you in the booth next Friday night.
Bren out.
D out.
Out Friday.
Out Friday night. Yeah, I'm out. You want to be able to find me.
And these guys love the kids? I don't know.
Hey.
Not $700 million.
I love that much.
Jay Cutler wins 10 games or more with the Miami Dolphins as quarterback this year.
Bren out doing a backflip.
No way.
No.
Mark it down. Cutler and the
No!
Dolphins go to the playoffs. He wins 10 or more. Okay, can't disagree with Nick Saban, but somebody brought a nutty bar on my boat for the first time. I had one in 20 years. Little Debbie snack cakes, in or out?
No problem. I'm in.
No.
No.
In.
He's in. I'm usually out, but they're good. Kickoff coming up next. Blount and Vigor right here.